With pre-production, the technology that we used YouTube to look at existing movie trailers in the horror and thriller genres in particular, as well as music videos for inspiration, as well as like the metal genre, which is synonymous with horror film.
In the initial research, we used Wikipedia to look at how a horror film is put together. So, obviously, what they use, how they do it, but also what the top 10 horror films were. So we could actually look at their trailer and see what makes the trailer make you want to watch it, and why they're so popular.
For the music, we used iTunes and each other's iPods. We basically took each other's iPods, scanned through, see what similarities there were.
Luckily we do roughly the same music, so
it was easy to choose the sort of...
But obviously there's differences between what we listen to, so like you might have some like hip hop on it. And I might have some classical, not saying I do, but I might have some.
And we also used MySpace for the same reason.
For up and coming bands, obviously you're not going to find on YouTube straight away.
Yeah, exactly. We also used YouTube for music, mainly music videos. We also managed to find a couple of tracks that were candidates for our film trailer, but didn't make the cut.
With Facebook as well, if you join a band, like a band on their group, they'd push you towards an up and coming band. So then, when they do that, we can actually look at see, is their music good? Can we put it in? But for music, we finally went with quite a well-known band.
Yeah, Bring the Horizon.
And quite a well-known song. So
we used dafont.com, which has an extensive array of different fonts in different categories as well. I used a barcode font from dafont.com for the film magazine, and I was going to use a font from there for the title on Omniscience, but decided not to, and went with a font that I found already on the computer in Photoshop, which I thought suited the title pretty well.
The camera we used was a basic JVC recording camera. It done everything we needed, from focusing on certain areas, zooming in and out, and it even survived the rough weather on that one day. Absolutely mental, but considering it's a cheap, cheerful camera, it done exactly what we needed it to do.
Because we didn't want anything special anyway.
For taking photos, it was just basically we would click camera in the top, and our camera button would appear. We'll just take a photograph of Steve. Take a photograph. As simple as that. We'd just basically upload that to the blog and use it for our film, posters, magazines, and whatever we need it for. When we were creating our trailer itself, we use a program called iMovie. There was a situation where we had a single hard drive and it could only actually be done on one computer. So we had to use Trust here and use it on one computer, so if one was ill, they knew all the details. But it was a basic application in which we could edit and take parts out from the film.
We could also use the music that we gathered and put it into the trailer, as well as sound bites, such as the heavy breathing that features in the trailer.
When we were creating our magazine covers and our film posters, we used the program Photoshop, and that just allowed us to basically get our images, edit them the way we wanted. So obviously for my one, to make the whole background black, so all we could have was the face and the skull. But we could also insert text and just fiddle about with it, so we had the poster that we wanted. But also we used it for the 3D effect as well, which Steve will explain to you.
And this is how it's done.
This is how you make classic 3D in Photoshop.
You start with an image, you duplicate that image, and then you create two new blank layers, dragging an image. So you have image, blank layer, image, blank layer. You check that it's in RGB colour, which it is. That's good. On the first blank layer, you want to make it the most red it can get, which is 255R0G0 blue. And you need to fill that layer completely. On the other layer, you need to make it blue. So you go 0 red, 255G, 255 blue. Okay, and you need to fill that. You then go where it says normal, you make it a screen, and you do the same for the red layer. And you need to select the blue layer, as well as the image beneath it. You merge those two layers into one, and then where it says normal, you need to make that multiply. You then select to move it, and then move it a few spaces to the right, and it becomes 3D, and that's how it's done. Overall, I believe our project was quite a success. We managed to produce everything that we needed to produce.
It all went together, so you could tell the posters, the magazine, all linked to the trailer, but also all the clips had a meaning themselves and worked together in the audio they were put.
The only thing that I'd personally change is probably film a lot more different shots, including probably more reaction shots, more close-ups, as I don't think there was enough of them to convey the mood of the killer that features in our trailer, as well as his victims.
Although I agree with Steve there, I'd also change the magazines because I believe we needed more time on them to produce it how we wanted it and to make it look professional.
Yeah.